Okay, so there was a problem, so I was supposed to stop it. So hence, once again, I'll start. So what I was saying you in a this microscope, you are having a crossed bar here. So what you'll see is that if the plane of polarized light rotates towards right, got it? When you are passing the plane of polarized light through the polarimeter tube, and if the plane of polarized light rotates towards right, right means now this is the what you can say the crossed bar which you are seeing in a microscope. If it rotates towards right, then you will be getting a line here. This line which you are seeing it here, you will be seeing in a microscope here on the right side. Then this particular compound is known as dextro compound. Dextro denoted with the letter D or positive sign. Now suppose if you see the what you can say the plane of polarized light towards the left of this particular crossed bar, then this is known as a LeVo compound. LeVo, L-A-E-V-O, LeVo means if the plane of polarized light rotates towards left, it is LeVo compound. If it rotates towards right, it is known as dextro compound. Suppose if you when the plane of polarized light does not get rotated either towards the right or towards the left, then it's what is known as that particular compound is known as meso compound. It's optically inactive in nature. What I said you? Optically inactive in nature. It neither rotates the plane of polarized light towards right nor towards left. Neither it is dextro nor it is LeVo. So in this way, practically we find it out that whether the given compound is optically active or not. Now you can see it makes an angle. When it rotates towards right or left, it makes an angle. Let us say this angle is what you can say theta. We call this angle as angle of specific rotation. We call it as angle of specific rotation. Why do we use this particular angle? Suppose you are having a number of optically active compounds you are having it. You want to know which is more optically active in nature. That theta will say you. The more is the angle of theta. That means more is the angle of specific rotation, more optically active the compound is. Again I repeat, more is the angle of theta. That means more is the angle of specific rotation, more optically active the compound is. So in this way, from the value of theta or the angle of specific rotation, we find it out whether the compound is optically active. Not only we find it out if it's optically active, we can also compare the optical activity of the given compound. We can say that in this way. So this is all about practically we find it out. Now theoretically we will see it that how to know that the given compound is optically active or not. So theoretically we are going to see. Now for that particular purpose you need to remember two conditions. What are those? If a compound is optically active, then it should have a chiral carbon atom. What do you mean by chiral carbon atom? C-H-I-R-A-L. Chiral means it is known as asymmetric. Asymmetric means which is not symmetrical. Means it does not possess a plane of symmetry or a center of symmetry. That is said to be as plane of symmetry or center of symmetry. We can say that. Okay, so that is said to be as chiral. What I said you, the given compound should have a chiral carbon atom. And second condition is that the mirror image of the compound should not be superimposable. The mirror image of the compound. Mirror image means suppose you are taking an object O. This is O. When you are putting in front of the mirror, what it will show you? O only. So the object and the image are superimposable. That is called a superimposability. When the object and the image. But suppose if you are showing in your mirror, you are showing your right hand or you are showing your left hand. Suppose if you show your left hand, you will show which hand? Right hand. Got it? In the mirror. So that is known as non-superimposable. For example, suppose you are putting the letter P, the mirror will show you what? It will show you Q. Alright, this is the mirror letters, it will show you Q. So these two are not superimposable. They are said to be asymmetric. They are not symmetrical. And this line is known as, it's nothing but it is not called as a line of symmetry. Suppose if it is symmetrical, suppose you are putting here O and here also getting O, then this line is known as line of symmetry and the center is called as a center of symmetry. So what I said you, in a given optically active compound, the two conditions has to be, either of the two conditions has to be satisfied. One is that the compound should have a chiral carbon atom present in it. I'll tell you what is chiral carbon atom. And the second condition is that the mirror image of the compound should not be superimposable. Should not be. Here it is superimposable. It should not be superimposable. Alright. Suppose you are standing in front of the mirror. Suppose you can see it here. I am having there is a pocket on my left side. If I stand in front of the mirror, what you will see? You will see the pocket on the right side. So left and right, are they superimposable? No, they are not superimposable, we can say that. So that is the meaning of superimposability. And here the mirror image, again and again I repeat, it should not be superimposable. I think you have understood what is superimposable. The mirror image should not be superimposable, remember it. Now, next is chiral carbon atom. What do you mean by chiral carbon atom? When one carbon atom is attached to 4 different atoms or groups. 4 different atoms or groups. And how do you represent it? We represent it by a asterisk mark or star mark, we give it over the carbon atom. This is known as chiral carbon atom. 4 different atoms or groups. For examples, let us say here CH3, here it is COOH, here it is H, and here it is OH. So this is nothing but the formula of lactic acid. We can say that lactic acid. This is a formula. Now here this is said to be as a chiral carbon atom. So the given compound should have a chiral carbon atom or asymmetric carbon atom. Asymmetric means which is not symmetrical. Alright, and the mirror image should not be superimposable. For example, let us say I am taking the mirror image of this mirror image. Then what should be the mirror image of it? CH3 have nothing to do with the what you can say, what is there in the bottom and in the top, and nothing to do. I am interested only with the right and left. So here you will get the OH and here you will get the H. Definitely it's going to change. So here you can see, are they superimposable? This H and OH, here you can see they are not superimposable. So this is said to be an optically active compound. Now how do we know it is dextro and levo? Just you compare the right and left, the molecular weight. Very simple. Now what you see is that here in the left side the molecular weight is more than the right. Here in the right side the molecular weight is more than the left. So when the it is just like a BIM balance. So in BIM balance what you find is that it is going to turn right. Suppose the molecular weight is more here, so it is going to turn right. Alright, so hence this is known as dextro, and here in the left side the molecular weight is more, so it is going to turn left. Alright, so it is known as levo. Just you are going to compare the molecular weight on either of right and left, nor at the top and bottom. Remember it, we are not interested in top and bottom, we are interested only with the right and left. That's it. Dextro and levo. Dextro means when the plane of polarized light rotates towards right, levo means it rotates towards left. We can say that. So in this way we find it out which compound is optically active, and also we find it out which is dextro and which is levo. An example I have given you. Okay. So next, thank you very much.